बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Jaya Radha, Shama Sundar Radha, Shama Sundar Radha, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Srila Guru Deva, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Jai Gaur Premanandi. Warm welcome everyone in the study of Srimad Bhagavatam. We continue our study of Srimad Bhagavatam again specifically Canto 4, Chapter 8 onwards, specifically Pastime of Dhruva Maharaj. So we continue exploring this beautiful pastime, and surely this will inspire us in our practice of Krishna consciousness, in our ultimate attainment of ultimate realization of the soul proper is to fall in love with Krishna, is to become attached to Krishna, to attain the service at the divine lotus feet of the divine couple. So Prem Bhakti Prasud, Prem Bhakti Udgar Updesh, for the ultimate benefit, ultimate interest of the soul proper study of Srimad Bhagavatam. We continue. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Cheva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nishtiki. We can never say that we have studied enough, and we can never say that we have done enough japa. How can one possibly do enough japa? No. One can never do enough japa, one can never do enough kirtan, one can never attend enough Rath Yatras. In Krishna consciousness, one can never do anything enough. Can we ever say I've loved enough? No. We can never say I've loved enough Krishna. No. I've loved enough devotees. No. And Krishna also, that yes, I have loved you enough. No. This enough is not enough in Krishna consciousness. And this is the trajectory it will put us, the entire study of Krishna consciousness, especially Srimad Bhagavatam. See, we see na Srimad Bhagavatam like Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is the undoubtedly the highest, topmost philosophical text. Undoubtedly. Just like sun does not need any proof, na? Sun does not need any proof. When sun is risen, people know, okay, sun is risen. Everything is settled. When sun comes out, everything is settled. So Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God and Krishna, the existence of God doesn't need anyone's proof as such, So Bhagavad Gita undoubtedly is the highest philosophical text. Then Bhagavad Gita is a dialogue, a conversation between Krishna and Arjuna. Krishna had this conversation in the battlefield of Kurukshetra with Arjuna. So that is Bhagavad Gita, a conversation and dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna. Spoken in the middle of a war, in the middle of the beginning of the war, and Arjuna, he was very helpless. So to inspire Arjuna altogether. Now it is very difficult to motivate someone. Very difficult to motivate someone. Even more difficult would it be, or maybe equally or less, whatever, but it is difficult certainly for one to stay motivated. For one to stay motivated is also difficult. But in Bhagavad Gita, we see now what devotees say nicely what? That Arjuna, he did not lack in the skill in fighting. He had all the skills to fight. It was not like he was lacking in training. He was lacking in willingness, in the will, in the inspiration to perform his duty and beyond. Likewise, us in life, we do not lack in skills as such. Or skills can be developed, skills can be worked out and all. What we lack most is the willingness, is the will. Why do I fight? What is the purpose? What is the reason? That willingness, yes, I'm motivated, I'm enthused and all. Then how it will come about, how to fight and all. Why is to be checked throughout. So Bhagavad Gita is such, Arjuna was struggling in will, not much in skill. And Krishna enthused him through his powerful sound vibration, through his pure directions, instructions, love, care, concern, and everything, and furthermore. Then Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is what? It shows us a dialogue, a relationship, a living sentiment of Krishna, his pure devotees, and the loving relationship. Krishna is pure devotees and the loving relationship between them. So, Bhagavad Gita devotees say Bhagavad Gita is what Krishna spoke. And Bhagavatam is what Krishna did, his pastimes, what his devotees did, pastimes with Lord Shri Krishna there, and we relish them. Then there is Chaitanya Charitamrita. Nothing like Chaitanya Charitamrita. Chaitanya Charitamrita is not to be read. Chaitanya Charitamrita is not to be read, it is to be cried out. That is Chaitanya Charitamrita. That it should make us cry. And the only way to rise in Krishna consciousness is to drown ourselves in Krishna consciousness. Only when we drown ourselves in Krishna consciousness, then only we will see rising. There is this saying in Sadhu Samaj, what does it say? प्रेम भक्ति भंडार की बड़ी अनोखी बात. प्रेम भक्ति भंडार की बड़ी अनोखी बात. ज्यों-ज्यों खर्चे त्यों बढ़े. ज्यों-ज्यों खर्चे त्यों बढ़े. ज्यों रखे घट जात. Meaning, this bhandar means store. Store. So Prem Bhakti Bhandar, the store of love of Krishna consciousness, is a unique thing. What is the unique? The more we share, the more we give out, the more we pass on Krishna consciousness, the more we distribute Krishna consciousness, the more we find ourselves enthused with Krishna consciousness. And the more we keep it with ourselves, we feel that we are short in Krishna consciousness. Very opposite to societal sense. In society, if we give out something, then okay, this has gone from me and I'm not having it anymore, I've lost it. But in Krishna consciousness, the more we give, the more we get. So the more we drown ourselves in Krishna consciousness, the more we will rise. And in societal sense, the more we drown ourselves in education, job, finance, money, relationships, home, family, all these things and all, we will find inevitably that we are more entangling ourselves. We are getting more caught up. We are getting more caught up. So that this Krishna consciousness ना प्रेम भक्ति भंडार की बड़ी अनोखी बात ज्यों ज्यों खर्चे त्यों बढ़े ज्यों रखे घट जात as we say ना enough we can never say that we have done enough and we never say no but this we have to realize that enough is enough in our conditional life. Enough is enough now. Wholeheartedly take into Krishna consciousness. So that is Chaitanya Charitamrita. It is not to be read, it is something to be cried out. In societal sense, also some motivational speakers might say, until and unless you drown yourself in it, you won't find yourself, sort of thing. And yeah, same true in Krishna consciousness. Until and unless we lose ourselves in Krishna consciousness, we will not find ourselves. And by losing meaning, lose our material identity, lose our material attachments, lose our material ego, lose our material desires. This is why spirituality begins, Athato Brahma Jigyasa or self-realization begins when we inquire into the self, when we understand I am not this body, I am a spirit soul. A motivational speaker might tell us 10 things much better about psychology, human behavior, mind, brain, the relations, all these dynamics. But I struggle if you will ever say, you are not this body, you are a spirit soul, you are a spiritual. So that is the beginning. That is the beginning. So Srimad Bhagavatam is not different from Krishna. And with this mood, attitude, yearning, desire, hankering, we see Srimad Bhagavatam, the pure loving sentiment between Krishna and his pure devotees. And when we listen to this, then like there's this beautiful saying, sloka, and Srimad Bhagavatam comes 177, first canto, chapter 7, text 7. Yasyam Vaishruyamanayam Krishne Parama Purushe Bhaktirutpadyate Pumsam Shokamoha Bhayapaha Yasyam Vaishruyamanayam Vaishruyamanayam Yasyam Vaishruyamanayam by giving oral reception to whom, to what, to whose Yasyam Vai, to whom, whose, what oral reception? Krishna Parama Purushe. When we hear about Krishna, who is Krishna? Purush. Purush means controller, Purush means male, controller or enjoyer. But what? Krishna is Parama Purusha. Param means supreme, transcendental. So he's not like a mundane enjoyer or a mundane controller. He's the transcendental controller, transcendental enjoyer, the supreme enjoyer. So when we hear about Krishna, Krishna Parama Purusha, what will happen? Bhaktir Utpadyate Pumsa. Utpadyate means sprung out, sprouts out, comes out. It comes into manifestation. It is there, it will grow, come out. Bhaktir, this love for Krishna will come about amongst human beings, amongst living entities, Pumsa. And what will happen as a result of that? Shok, Moha, Bhayapava. Shok means lamentation. Moha means illusion. And Bhaya means fear. So this lamentation will go away. Illusion will go away. Fear will go away. When we hear Srimad Bhagavatam, when we hear about Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then love for Krishna will sprout in our hearts. Surely, when we hear from the right source, from devotees, love for Krishna will sprout in our heart. Krishna being the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And as a result of that, what will happen? Shok, Moh, and Bhaya. So lamentation, illusion, and fear, they will vanish, they will disappear. But it is not exactly true also. You know, what? Lamentation, material lamentation will go off. Shok, material illusion will go off. Material fear will go off. But then, such is Krishna consciousness or such is Krishna. Honestly, be careful. Don't tell me later on that you were not warned beforehand. Such is Krishna consciousness. One will realize, oh, I was better being a non-devotee. Being a devotee, now I'm stuck with Krishna and I am having more lamentation. You know, when people come into Krishna consciousness, then so many questions come about. So many questions. Like why world is like this, why this, that, and why with me, all so many such. Before, look at the people now in society. In Europe, Asia, America, and all. So relaxed, so calm, so peaceful. Go to your parents, ask your parents, dear mother, dear father, sit at their feet and ask them, dear mother, dear father, you have life experience, you are so experienced, and you are definitely wise wisdom. Kindly teach me, instruct me what happens after that. What is the purpose of life? Who am I? Why is there so much of suffering? Why is there so much of inequality? And on, and we can see. So society by and large is settled, not many questions. If at all questions, the questions are relating to politics, relating to economy, relating to inflation, all this. No? Who has questions for spiritual enlightenment like that? So, practicing Krishna consciousness, lamentation, even higher lamentation, you will experience. What lamentation? That I am bereft of Krishna. I don't have Krishna prema. I'm hardly a devotee. I'm so hypocrite or this, or this lamentation will come about a lot. Shok, mo, illusion. Mo means sense of hankering. I don't have it. I don't have it. See, one will become more restless. Oh, I don't have Krishna. I don't have Krishna. I have everything else, but not Krishna. And this is the difference between a religious practitioner and a Krishna conscious practitioner. A religious practitioners will feel proud. I'm a proud gentleman. I go to church. I go to temple. Yes, I know God. I serve God. I'm a good being. Like this. And a Krishna conscious practitioner, he will never say, I have Krishna. Rather, he will feel that I don't have Krishna. I'm very far off. I don't have. So, shok, more anchoring, more and more anchoring for Krishna will come about. Oh, I don't have Krishna. I don't have Krishna. And fear, even more big fear, he will be circled or covered by big fear. What? Fear of losing Krishna, fear of losing Krishna consciousness, fear of losing devotees. Yes. So, honestly, take it at your own risk. Hare Krishna. So, we continue study, and we pray that one day we carry this lamentation. One day we go through this lamentation. One day we go through this hankering, and one day we go through this fear. The only way to come out of fear is when we are fearful of losing Krishna. If this becomes my only fear in life, fear of losing the association of devotees of Krishna, fear of losing the blessings of Guru Maharaj, fear of losing the connection, the communication with Guru Maharaj, fear of losing the communication connection with my guide, mentor, devotees, and like that. If this becomes my only fear, and if I protect this thing, then I will be easily freed from all other fears. All other. Likewise, if this become my only lamentation that I am not a devotee, and if I lament for this, I won't have any other lamentation. And if this becomes my hankering, I have not yet attained Krishna. Look, what am I doing? I'm not living by who am I. Such a tragedy, right? If I don't live by my identity, by who am I, then look, there's this the asylum, mental asylum. The various definitions of this material world. One of the definition is what? One of the definition of material world is the mental asylum being taken over by lunatics. That is so. This world is no less than a mental asylum, and you and me are no less than lunatics who are taken over this world or taking over this world. So, this is it not our lunacy that what is my real identity? I'm completely oblivion or unaware, and I don't care. Also, not so bothered, and I'm living by a wrong identity, misidentity. Then am I not a lunatic? I'm not a mad person who don't doesn't know who am I. Then would be kind of can be classed as a mad person. So we all are like that. But when we hanker for Krishna, then we can come out of this madness. When we fear losing devotees, then only the societal fear. Otherwise, we all are haunted by fear. We all. And this fear will haunt us till death and even after death. This lamentation, it is undeniable that when we are leaving our body, we won't be hankering or lamenting. Imagine someone is living in a certain country and he is asked to leave the country. Will he not hanker or lament? And fear is there. Imagine someone is asked to leave, vacate the apartment he is living in. Will there not be hankering, lamentation, fear? So it is bound to be when we leave the body, hankering will be there. Oh, I don't have this, I don't have this, I don't have this dress. Lamentation will be there. Fear will be there. What will happen to my parents? What will happen to my children? What will happen to the company? All this will be. So if we do not deal with them now, if not now, then when? If not now, now we all are in a healthy age, whatever age. Now is the time. Dhruva Maharaj at the age of 5. We'll see now. So So we pray that we are blessed by this transcendental lamentation, we are blessed by this transcendental illusion, anchoring, and transcendental fear. वैराग्य विद्या निज भक्ति योगा शिक्षार्थमेक पुरुष पुराना श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य शरीरधारी कृपाम्बुधिर्यतमहं प्रपद्ये मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we'll continue our study, Canto 4, Chapter 8, chapter entitled Dhruva Maharaj Leaves Home for Forest. Text 40 onwards we'll see. Naradu Vacha Chananya Bhita Pantha Savai Nishreyasa Nishreyasasyate Bhagavan Vasudevastam Bhajatam Pravanatmanam. The great sage Narada told Dhruva Maharaj, the instruction given by your mother Suniti to follow the path of devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead is just suitable for you. You should therefore completely absorb yourself in the devotional service of the Lord. So let us continue reading a bit more what Narada Muni is saying and let us see further. Any person, text 41, any person who desires the fruits of the four principles, religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, and at the end liberation, should engage himself in the devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For worship of his lotus feet, he yields the fulfillment of all of this. My dear boy, I therefore wish all good fortune for you. You should go to the bank of the Yamuna, where there is a virtuous forest named Madhuvan, and there be purified. Just by going there, one draws nearer to the Supreme Personality of Godhead who always lives there. So Yamuna still exists in Vrindavan, and Madhuvan still exists in Vrindavan. And when devotees know in Kartik month, they do Braj Parikrama, 84 course Parikrama. 84 means 84 kilometers. This Parikrama they do circumference. So they come to Madhuvan as well, of 12 forest and all, one of the forest Madhuvan, and they sing, chant, and relish pastimes, listening to the pastimes of the Lord in Madhuvan. And Narad Muni instructed, my dear boy, in the waters of the Yamuna river, which is known as Kalindi, you should take 3 baths daily because the water is very auspicious, sacred, and clear. After bathing, you should perform the necessary regulative principles for Ashtanga Yoga and then sit down on your asana, sitting place in a calm and quiet position. After sitting on your seat, practice the 3 kinds of breathing exercises and thus gradually control the life air, the mind, and the senses. Completely free yourself from all material contamination and with great patience begin to meditate on the Supreme Personality of God. The form of the Lord is described here in text 45. The Lord's face is perpetually very beautiful and pleasing in attitude. To the devotees who see him, he appears never to be displeased, and he is always prepared to award benedictions to them. His eyes, his nicely decorated eyebrows, his raised nose, and his broad forehead are all very beautiful. He is more beautiful than all the demigods. Narad Muni continued, the Lord's form is always youthful. Every limb and every part of his body is properly formed, free from defect. His eyes and lips are pinkish, like the rising sun. He is always prepared to give shelter to the surrendered soul, and anyone so fortunate as to look upon him feels all satisfaction. The Lord is always worthy to be the master of the surrendered soul, for he is the ocean of mercy. The Lord is further described as having the mark of Srivatsa, or the sitting place of the goddess of fortune, and his bodily hue is deep bluish. The Lord is a person, he wears a garland of flowers. The Lord is a person, he wears a garland of flowers and is eternally manifest with 4 hands, which hold, beginning from the lower left hand, a conch shell, wheel, club, and lotus flower. The entire body of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vasudeva is decorated. He wears a valuable jeweled helmet, necklaces, and bracelets. His neck is adorned with the Kaustuba jewel and he is dressed in yellow silk garments. The Lord is decorated with small golden bells around his waist, and his lotus feet are decorated with golden ankle bells. All his bodily features are very attractive and pleasing to the eyes. He is always peaceful, calm, and quiet, and very pleasing to the eyes and the mind. Real yogis meditate upon the transcendental form of the Lord as he stands on the whole of the lotus of their hearts, the jewel-like nails of his lotus feet glittering. The Lord is always smiling, and the devotee should constantly see the Lord in this form, as he looks very merciful toward the devotee. In this way, the meditator should look toward the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the bestower of all benedictions. Okay, let us try. Let us read a couple more and then we'll see. So this is text 52. One who meditates in this way, concentrating his mind upon the always auspicious form of the Lord, is very soon freed from all material contamination, and he does not come down from meditation upon the Lord. O son of the king, now I shall explain unto you the mantra which is to be chanted with this process of meditation. One who carefully chants this mantra for 7 nights can see the perfect human beings flying in the sky. So we come to the mantra. And see here, Narad Muni blessing. No? This is a real blessing when devotees enter in our life. We all are looking for some miracle to happen in our life, right? And this is ultimate miracle in our life when a devotee enters our life. Now Narad Muni entered Dhruva Maharaja's life. Although Dhruva Maharaj he had a different vision, he was not wanting God in his life. He was hurt, insult, and he was wanting a kingdom much higher, bigger than his father, grandfather, great grandfather. He was not wanting God in his life though. But still, he had a good heart. He had sincere heart. Somewhere we read, right, in some of the purports yesterday, or translations, that he had sincere heart, he had sincere compassion, and that kindness and sincerity. We read that he asked Narad Muni that tell me of an honest path by which I can attain my goal. Not a shortcut or anything. Tell me which is honest, which is fair, what is the proper way. He wasn't jealous. So then, yes, Narad Muni first tested Dhruva Maharaj that does the boy really mean it? Will he be up to it? Will he do it? That so see, before choosing a spiritual master, there should be a test. The sadhaka should also test that yes, is he the divine personality whose shelter I can take? And the spiritual master also tests or checks the disciple. Is he sincere enough? Does he want to be sincere enough? Or is he more of show bottle? Show bottle, what show bottle means? Show bottle meaning externally showing to be like a devotee, pretender, externally showing to be like a devotee, but internally no. Like a bit of a sly or pretender. So here, Narad Muni anyways doesn't need any checking or testing, say. But yeah, Dhruva Maharaj, when Narad Muni appeared, so the moment Narad Muni appeared, that moment itself his lottery opened. That moment itself. Now it's just what? Journey. Now it's just the journey. Now it's just time is the separation. Now Narad Muni appeared Dhruva's life, right? And we'll see Narad Muni is now instructed him, right? That go to Madhuvan on the banks of Yamuna, set asana there, do meditation, and he's giving description about the Lord and purify your mind and senses and meditate in a take bath 3 times a day, make a clean, clear environment, and then he will be telling more about Krishna and giving mantra. So the moment the moment Dhruva met Narad Muni, we can say that very moment he met Krishna. That very moment he attained Krishna. In a way, Narad Muni and Krishna, okay, this can be a question. Are Narad Muni and Krishna always connected? Yes, they are. Narad Muni and Krishna are always in connection. They never lose connection. The Wi-Fi signal is, they share it, very good broadband, very high speed, ultra, super duper, ultra high speed broadband. They never lose any connection. Yeah. So Narad Muni is throughout in connection with Krishna. Now Dhruva, he connected himself to Narad Muni. That is as good as God connection, Krishna connection, or in fact even better. That much one has to realize a sadhaka. His relationship, a sadhaka's relationship with his Guru Maharaj has to be the most unique relationship. As in, it is subjective person to person, but for every sadhaka, his relationship with his Guru Maharaj has to be the most unique, has to be the most pure, most sacred, most cherished, most lovable relationship. The time spent with Guru Maharaj, walks, parikrama, kirtan, class, physically in the same room or at a distance, but listening and hearing the smile, that thing. And until and unless we experience divinity in this life, in this form and shape, how can we experience divinity in the afterlife or in the higher life? We cannot, no? So we have to experience this in this life. And there has to be a test, there has to be a check that yes, what check shall we do on our part? Huh? We can check externally the behavior of the sadhu, the behavior of the saint, the behavior of the devotee externally. How does he sit? How does he walk? How does he talk? Uh, where does lust reside? Lust resides in the eyes, na? The vision, the eyes. So the eyes of a sadhu can tell about the lust. Is lust residing in his eyes or hankering to see Radha Krishna residing in his eyes? Likewise, us practicing Krishna consciousness, us sadhakas, we should have no business with lust. We should be done through with lust, especially, if I may say a bit directly, this physical, bodily, sensual oriented lust. We should be through it all together. There's no room for it. And when we hear the pastimes of Radha Krishna, then we will give up and we'll give up altogether. And so, to check on the devotee, his external behavior, how does he walk, sit, talk, his thought process, his mood, his absorption, his meditation, say, that how free is he from greed, hmm, how free is he from, say, lust, anger, pride, avarice, that, and that check has to be done. Then these are some material external considerations. It not be material, external considerations. Hmm. Like we seen, these are some external considerations, and Rupa Goswami tells us in the Nectar of Instruction, in the very first verse, such beautiful verse for all of us sadhakas. Rupa Goswami says, uh, who is the most powerful person in this world? What do you say? Who is the most powerful person in this world? Prime Minister, President of United States of America, or is it Putin, or who would you say is the most powerful person in this world? Rupa Goswami says this in Nectar of Instruction, the very first text, the very first instruction. What does he say? Vacho vegam manasa krodha vegam jiva vegam udarpasta vegam etan vegan yuvisaheta dhira sarvamapi mam prithvim sasishyat. Vacho vegam. Veg means force, current, intensity, tivrata. Very, very powerful. So a vach means speak, the urge to speak, the urge to talk. So vacho vegam, manasa krodha vegam. the urge to control the demands of the mind and senses, manasa krodha vegam, the demands of anger, uh, not subdued by anger. Jiva vegam, udara pasta vegam. Jiva is the demands of the tongue, to control the demands of the tongue. And what? Udara prastha. Belly and genitals to control the demands of the belly and genitals, the agitations. One who can control his mind, senses, anger, and mm, tongue, his desire to speak and desire to eat. If he can control his tongue and belly and genitals, he's the most powerful person. You know, the most powerful person in the universe. So this is what this has to be seen when inquiring. Generally speaking, when say inquiring for a driving instructor, want to check for a driving instructor, do we not check? Okay, the driving instructor, how good the school is, instruction school, how good the driving lesson does he give, the reviews and so much things. People check na restaurants or go for a holiday and all. What is the 5-star review rating and on those lines? So for sadhana, choosing a spiritual master, these are external considerations which should be done, which should be checked. So it's not just a lifelong relationship. It is an eternal bond which we want to connect. Then internally, his speech. Krishna spoke to Arjuna, na, Guru Mukha Padmavakya Chitete Koriya Kya Arna Kori Ho Mane Asha. So Guru Vandana we sing Guru Mukha Padmavakya. The words emanating from the lotus mouth, not spiritual master. Chittite Koriyakya. I take it wholeheartedly in my consciousness. Then there is no other desire. Then the mind is very settled. The mind is very calm and purified. So the speaking of a devotee, the speaking of a devotee, is it inspiring us into Krishna consciousness? Is it inspiring me to embrace Krishna consciousness, to understand Krishna consciousness, to practice? And alongside my confusions, doubts, and all this, are they getting settled? Am I finding newer and newer inspiration? So that is that the speech of a sadhu is the speech of a saintly person is the most powerful weapon. Speech is the most powerful weapon. When people speak, wars happening between countries and all. So speech is so powerful, but when we speak egoistically, offendingly, cuttingly, so wars and all take about. But it is this speech, very speech, the saintly people speak, Krishna spoke, and that gives such enlightenment, that gives such transcendence, such joy, relief. Shok Moha Bhayapa, the speech of a sadhu will free, cut off all unnecessary, excessive material attachments. It will cut off. So this is the criteria, the benchmark for choosing, say, a spiritual master, looking for a spiritual master, and one should that how is his speech, how good his kirtan is, how good his, say, expression of Krishna consciousness. From hearing from a sadhu, Krishna should come alive, na? This is Bhagavatam. When we hear it from devotees, Krishna will come alive. Krishna is there, life present. He will manifest. He will come to the surface. That bit. So these considerations. So Dhruva Maharaj, he had no confusion on that. Yes, Narad Muni appeared. Likewise, for a sadhaka, his realization, should it be any less than Dhruva's realization towards Narad Muni? Should a sadhaka see his spiritual master as any less than in capacity, say, of Narad Muni? No, not at all. In fact, no. For a sadhaka, if I say, his spiritual master is the best devotee of Krishna. Is the purest devotee. To say also, na, if a sadhaka says, well, my spiritual master is a pure devotee of Krishna, that's not a healthy appreciation. It is appreciation, but it is still lacking. It is still not got the heart. For a sadhaka, the realization should be my spiritual master is the purest devotee of Krishna. Having said that, that doesn't mean that another sadhaka spiritual master is not the purest devotee or like that. No, it is very subjective, na? For every child, his mom or dad. Children say, no, growing up, oh, my mom is the best, my dad is the best. Well, societal sometimes mom and dad are actually not the best, and all. But like this, oh, my school is the best, my teacher is the best, my friend is the best, all that sort of thing. So, however, a sadhaka should realize that my spiritual master is the purest devotee of Krishna. When we come to this realization, then Krishna will appear very sweet, very charming, very loving to us. So here, Dhruva Maharaj, he took spiritual Narad Muni as a spiritual master, na? And Narad Muni, like all these external conditions and his obsession, Narad Muni's obsession towards Krishna. How to find someone is Krishna consciousness, his obsession, his attitude, his attachment, his obsession, his hankering, his desperation, his cry, and which can be seen through speech. Through speech. The purity lies in the speech, na? Through the eyes. Lust lies in the eyes, na? This lust is how does he see, whom does he see, walk, talk, and especially speech. And how can we assess these things? We can never assess it ourselves. As in, mentally or intellectually, we can never understand the devotee, mentally and intellectually. If we try to see intellectually or mentally, we will really can be a big cause of danger for us, trouble for us. What? In the sense, if I say, oh, I am also English, he is also English, yeah, should be nice because we go in the same culture, same wavelength and all. No, not like that. And if I say, oh wow, he has got a huge following or this, no, we should not be the at all any of such considerations. How we can choose is by praying to Krishna. By praying to Krishna. One more thing. What makes a prayer prayer? This is a question. What quality in prayer makes it actually a prayer? What quality? People pray na? People pray na? What quality? Devotees generally don't say like this, I feel prayers or prayer. But yes,
I'm thinking, in order to pray, you have to feel like you're missing something.
mm,
You're hankering for something.
mm,
And you also have to feel like Krishna, the person that you're praying to, is able to give it to you. So he's kind of like higher than you. So there has to be a sense of lowliness, humility.
nice, very nice. That we are missing something, we are hankering something, we really want something, and Krishna can provide, and Krishna is the ultimate provider. Yeah, good. Any more thoughts or something? What quality in prayer actually makes it a prayer? Something on similar lines. So, in words, in just one word, if I say eagerness, eagerness, there has to be eagerness in the prayer. Another, prayer has to be fervent. What does fervent mean? Prayer has to be fervent. There has to be eagerness in the prayer. Without eagerness, there has to be this yearning, longing, desperation, gravity, need, that cry. Krishna likes crying in his devotees, no? That thing. So when we pray to the deities fervently means intensely, constantly, regularly, deeply, with eagerness, then reveal me who is your representative, who is your representative. Then the deities Krishna, Japa will help us find someone with whom we can share our heart. And then build that relationship, check that relationship, go in that relationship and build further. Any question, thoughts, or comments so far? On this note, I'm not giving you all peace, by the way. I'm not saying that we are done yet, no. But just, yes, but
See, when Krishna, like when we pray to Krishna, it's not necessarily like, Krishna will appear and answer the prayers in a very direct and obvious way. How can we have like faith and the patience to hear Krishna's message?
yeah, very nice question. How can we have? Because yeah, very true. It's not like we pray to Krishna and we get a WhatsApp message coming from Krishna, or even Krishna coming in our dream. Blessed are those souls who can get such a dream, and Krishna coming in our dream and telling us or like something. So how can we have that faith to receive the message, or how can we have that faith to show that patience? We have to show patience. See, we have to show patience, and we have to be desperate also. We have to be enthused as well. Enthusiasm we have to show, patience also, and confidence as well. We have to demonstrate this. It's a uphill task now. Practicing Krishna consciousness is an uphill task. So we have to continue striving, and wait patiently. And there will moments come in our life. There will be moments coming in our life wherein wow, we'll have such experiences, Kirtan Mela, some classes, some retreats, some visits, something, some book distribution and all. And the ways we pray and we listen. So when we do this, then we will get the call, and also there would be an element of risk also involved. There would be an element of risk. Some risk has to be taken, Baba. Otherwise, how do we show our faith? Blind risk should not be taken, but there has to be some risk will be there. Na? Like a performer, an artist has trained himself or herself very well, and she is waiting to go into the stage and sing in front of 10,000 people, say. But yet she will feel some sort of goosebumps or some risk. Na? What if the mic doesn't work, or some hope everything comes fine and all. So that element of risk is there, and which should be taken, which has to be taken. There's nothing wrong in taking. But it should not be on material consideration. It should not be a material calculation based. In the sense, I like listening from such and such personality, but not sure if he will initiate me or if I can get initiation because I don't have recommendation, and it's a lengthy process and all. And maybe I can try my name in elsewhere and get initiated elsewhere. Such sort of things are moved, and so it's a very sacred relationship. No? It's a very pure sacred relationship. It's a very loyal relationship, the most loyal relationship. Way more loyal than the relationship of a husband and wife. Way more pure, say, the relationship of a husband and wife, or relationship of a mother and child. Way more pure than that. Way more friendly than the relationship of friends, or the relationship of mother and child, or the relationship of husband and wife. Way more friendly. And when we when we come across such a personality, and when we are building such a relationship, we should be not concerned. We should be free. That yes, we have attained it, Krishna. We have attained Krishna. Now it's just a time. As in the coaches in train, they all are connected, right? So one could be sitting in the last coach. But still, the train from say Glasgow to London, one could be sitting in the last coach. Will he late? Will he not reach London? He will reach London. When will he reach London? The same time, say the same time when the first coach reaches London. It's not like that he will be left out or not reaching. So we just need, when we are connected, we have made it then. Then the journey has begun, and the journey is ongoing altogether. It's not like that, okay, no, not me or something. You see, just that connection is needed, and that faith has to be needed. Faith. It is faith which will make us attain Krishna, or it is our wisdom. The faith has to be transformed into wisdom. What will come to our rescue at the time of death? At the time of death, attachments are bound to come. At the time of death, Hankering and lamentation is bound to come. Fear is bound to come. We cannot say that I'm not fearful. I'm not fearful of death. No. There are some people who say, "Oh, I don't worry that I'm not fearful of that." But they are in illusion. They are in illusion. Everyone is fearful of that. Everyone is attached. Everyone is hankering or lamenting something or other. So these emotions are going to come at the time of death very strongly. Huh? But what will save us at the time of our death? The faith which we have built up and the wisdom which we have converted the faith into wisdom. It is that wisdom or sanity. That wisdom or sanity is what is going to come to our rescue. Have we become wise enough that we are immersed in love with Krishna? Are we dying to die? A sadhaka should be dying to die, meaning give up this body. Sadhaka should be. When this day will be mine, when I actually happy birthday we celebrate, na? Practicing Krishna consciousness, happy birthday celebration, okay, not a big deal as such. The day when can I celebrate leaving this body? Grand celebration. And we celebrate. A sadhaka celebrates na? His spiritual masters Abhirbhav Divas, appearance day, and Tirobhav Divas, disappearance day. That thing. So there will be a risk. We have to pray. There's no other option. We have to show patience. We have to be confident. We have to be enthused. And what will keep us assembled in one unit is devotee association. Without devotee association, we cannot be enthused. We cannot be confident. We will lose patience and all. And devotee association need not necessarily mean I live in a community of 20 devotees, I live in a community of 50 devotees, or I live surrounded by devotees and I no. Devotee association means what? Devotee attachment. If I can become attached towards one devotee. Now that devotee could be in America, India, Africa, Europe, Russia, wherever. Physically could be distant, but I must have spent some time with him. I must have learned and listened from him, had some exchanges, some dialogues, and all this. So it is that one single say devotee association will give us, keep us enthused, inspired, and provide us the confidence and the patience and furthermore. Does this somewhat answer your question? Okay. Okay, so let us see from text 53 onwards. O son of the king, now Narad Muni going to tell Dhruva Maharaj on furthermore on what mantra to chant and the mood and the mindset and the practice and the way. O son of the king, now I shall speak unto you the mantra which is to be chanted with this process of meditation. One who carefully chants this mantra for 7 nights can see the perfect human beings fly in the sky. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. This is a 12-syllable mantra for worshipping Lord Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 12-syllable mantra. For worshipping Lord Krishna, one should install the physical forms of the Lord, and with the chanting of the mantra, one should offer flowers and fruits and other varieties of foodstuff exactly according to the rules and regulations prescribed by authorities. But this should be done in consideration of time, place, and attendant conveniences and inconveniences. One should worship the Lord by offering pure water, pure flower gardens, fruits and flowers, and vegetables which are available in the forest, or by collecting newly grown grasses, small buds of flowers, or even the skins of trees, and if possible by offering to the sea leaves, which are very dear to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is possible to worship a form of the Lord made of physical elements such as earth, water, pulp, wood, and metal. In the forest, one can make a form with no more than earth and water and worship him according to the above principles. A devotee who has full control over his self should be very sober and peaceful and must be satisfied simply with eating whatever fruits and vegetables are available in the forest. My dear Dhruva, besides worshipping the deity and chanting the mantra 3 times a day, you should meditate upon the transcendental activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his different incarnations, as exhibited by his supreme will and personal potencies. Beautiful. One should follow in the footsteps of previous devotees regarding how to worship the Supreme Lord with the prescribed paraphernalia, or one should offer worship within the heart by reciting the mantra to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is non different from the mantra. Anyone who thus engages in the devotional service of the Lord seriously and sincerely with his mind, words, and body, and who is fixed in the activities of the prescribed devotional methods, is blessed by the Lord according to his desire. If a devotee desires material religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, or liberation from the material world, he is awarded these results. So, a question, say, or what Narad Muni is helping us understand here. So, meditation, meditation is a common word in the world now, right? Every part of the world, meditation, people know what meditation means, or people think they know what meditation means. So, meditate. What does meditation mean? To meditate upon,
Contemplate.
to contemplate, to think, to absorb, to bring our focus, to bring our attention, to become attached in a way. So, meditation upon something or someone. Now, spiritual meditation, it cannot be upon something. We are meditating upon something, meaning it is matter meditation, it is not spiritual meditation. Many people they meditate as in to free themselves from stress. They would what? Meditate on objects, on some things and all that okay to calm the mind and this and help myself come away from reality. Distract a bit so that I can have some thought and all. Meditation is always on the Supreme Personality of God. Meditation is not shallow. Meditation is not just like meditating on some candle or some light or meditating on some wall or some. Not it's not like okay you meditate on deity. Some people say okay because your concentration because our concentration is not very strong. It's not very proper. Our mind gets easily distracted. So find construct a deity form that build a deity form, physical elements using material elements, earth, water, fire, marble statue, build a marble statue, stone statue, wood statue, and then focus on that statue. Focus on that statue, bring your focus. And when you have enhanced your focus, your concentration or meditation, then you don't need the statue. Because you have your mind, you have elevated your mind to a very higher level. And that is not Krishna consciousness. No. Firstly, the statue, the deity. It's not idol worship. Idol worship is something like made of matter. Idol worship is like whimsical worship. Oh yes, let me make some out of earth, fire. I know some engineer or I know some sculpture. I'm a good sculptor, potter or carpenter, and I can make things out. No. Deity worship means what? We install deities as in we invoke through a pure devotee invokes through chanting, pure chanting, through pure recitation of mantras, and Krishna comes about. Just like, see, in a way, many times we see now what there's some security lock in the house, and the camera is fitted. If the camera scans the eye, then camera knows okay, yes, let him in. So look at me, scan the eye, and then the doors open and I can go in, right? Some sort of arrangements like the fingerprints arrangement, na? Take the fingerprints and all. Passports, everyone has that biometric, na? In the passport, like that. So when we, something on those lines, when we invoke sacred, pure spiritual mantra, which are given in scriptures, via pure devotee is the authorized person. Just like a computer programmer, software developer, he's trained, na? He's the knowledgeable, he's the trained person who can do coding and program that, okay, this door will open when the camera scans the person's eye, who is in the database, like that. Then the door will open. On similar lines, when a pure devotee of Krishna chants the mantras, the sacred, pure spiritual sound vibration, with pure heart intensity, Krishna manifests in the deity form. What is impossible for Krishna? No? Nothing. And is matter in Krishna? Everything is in Krishna, matter, spirit, and everything. Matter, spirit, and everything is there in Krishna. It's nothing like it's not in Krishna, no? Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says this, no? So, Krishna, one definition of God is what? Almighty. Almighty meaning all powerful, all capable, no? So, why is Krishna not capable of entering, say, matter? He's actually in the matter. Can matter exist without Krishna? No. Matter cannot exist without Krishna. So Krishna is already there, but he comes to the surface. He comes to the surface in a sense that we can have that dialogue and conversation with him. So Narad Muni here telling something, see, no, on this, it's not like deity worship is worship of dolls or statues or just idol or mind. No, no, no. And it's not like, okay, because you want to concentrate your mind, so you do it. And once you have concentrated, then you can see God. You don't need deities. No, it's a very personal relationship. It's such a personal relationship. Dressing the deities, bathing the deities, feeding the deities, looking after them, looking after their rooms and their wardrobes and everything. Such a personal service. Very personal service. So, see, we find now what? Paper is almost everywhere and so many papers, na? But this so 10 pound note, 20 pound note, currency. Not every paper or every this can work as a 10 pound note. Na? One may have the same design, the same writing. One could be a very good artist that he can make exactly like a 10 pound note. But can we take the 10 pound note made by an artist to a bank or to a shop and get some items from the 10 pound note? No. The note has to be authorized by the Bank of England, right? The note has to be authorized by the Bank of Scotland, by the Bank of England. It has to be the proper, genuine authorized note. It's not like I put some ink or I get some ink and come through. No. So, in the similar sense, and stones are everywhere, but it's not like we just worship stones. We don't worship any stones, so stones are everywhere. Marbles, there's everywhere. Isn't that we worship every marble? No? We worship Krishna in deity form, which has been invoked, installed by pure chanting, pure mantras, by pure devotee of Krishna. Then Krishna manifests, Krishna appears. So here Narad Muni instructing Dhruva Maharaja. See, he's not giving him an idle meditation. Just sit down and idle meditation and meditate on nothing. There are many people who say, one person says what? If someone can help you, yeah, meditate on nothing, nothing. If someone can help you meditate, something on those lines, a person said one, Mayavad said once. If someone can help you meditate on nothing, he's done everything for you. Then you will know everything if you can know nothing, if you can meditate on nothing. So this nothingness, voidness, there are many teachers who teach like this, that become thoughtless, no thoughts, negate all thoughts, until and unless you empty your mind from thoughts, you won't find peace. Baba, what thoughts? Negative thoughts or material thoughts? Na? We want to fill our mind with thoughts of Krishna. Again, in one sentence, different ways of seeing Krishna consciousness. One ultimate message Krishna gives in Bhagavad Gita, or one sentence, one way, one move to capture the essence or philosophy of Krishna consciousness is what? Param Drishtva Nivartate. Param Drishtva Nivartate. Vishaya Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 259, is it? Vishaya Vinivartante Niraharasya Dehina Rasovarjan Rasopiyasya Param Drishtva Nivartate. So this Param vision, Param Drishtva, this higher taste, this higher vision has to come about. Unless this comes about, the senses and the sense objects, they will be there. That attachment and that hankering longing will be there. But when we develop a higher taste, so thoughts are emotions. Now, how can we kill thoughts? How can we kill desires? How can we kill fear? No, we have to transcendentalize our thoughts. We have to transcendentalize our desires, our fear. And we have to make our thoughts Krishna thoughts, our fear Krishna fear, our desires Krishna desire. That thing. So it is not like empty your mind. There's this English saying, na, what? Empty mind is, or idle mind is,
Devil's workshop.
devil's workshop. Devil, devil, uh, demon, devil. And idle mind is devil's workshop, empty mind is devil's workshop. Now a question. Okay, we understand empty mind is devil's workshop, idle mind is devil's workshop. A filled mind, uh, or how best to say, a filled mind is what? A God's workshop or demigod's workshop. If an empty mind is devil's workshop, that doesn't mean that a filled mind is God's or demigod's workshop. No. So a lazy mind. If a lazy mind is troublesome, na? People say no, lazy mind is a devil's workshop. Then does it mean that a busy mind is a God's workshop? There are many people who are busy in life now. Busy politicians, busy celebrities, busy people, busy businessmen. But that doesn't make them any saintly busyness. In Krishna consciousness, we want to be lazy from matter and busy in Krishna. So this teaching Narad Muni is giving to Dhruva Maharaj. Before you go on meditating, Narad Muni is telling him, take bath 3 times a day. Go in a sacred place, a peaceful place, quiet place, create an environment. In a holy place of pilgrimage, create an environment there. Wake up early, take bath, chant, and purify your mind and senses. Beginning of yoga is when the mind and senses are controlled. That is the first thing. That is the beginning to control the mind and senses. Unless the mind and senses are controlled, what yoga practice are we doing? What yoga practice are we doing? That is the first. And then Narada giving further instructions that meditate on Krishna. Meditation is not idle meditation. No? It is not meditation on void or vacuum or nothing. Meditation on void is avoiding responsibility. When we meditate on void, then we avoid responsibility. What responsibility? Oh no, God does not exist, or God is impersonal, God is not, I am God, or the universe came from nothing, there's nothing. Huh? So I also go and merge in nothing and I realize such a peace. Why? Because I'm not accountable to anyone, I'm not answerable to anyone. I don't have to surrender to anyone, I don't have to bow down to anyone, I don't have to love and serve anyone. Such a relaxation. Just sit down, relax, take a deep breath, take 3 deep breaths, and just meditate. Meditate on whom? Meditate on nothing. Meditate on what? What to think? Don't think. No, meditate on nothing, just meditate. What qualities though? No qualities. Just meditate. Just think that there is nothing. Go in a black box altogether. Bring everything down. Right? And people actually find peace. Why? Because at least they are freeing themselves from matter. They are freeing themselves from gross material sense gratification. And they are freeing themselves from somewhat bodily consciousness. So, okay, yeah, feeling that. And meditate on spiritual light, spiritual beam, spiritual hope, spiritual ray. See, now, many people, this thing, now what? These abstracts or attributes, whatever it is called, say, what? God is light, God is hope. God means, how do they do? Like this? God is this. And how do you know God is peace? Something like this. So, God is what? God is a quality then. Remember, who is peaceful? God is peaceful. God is loving. Na? That God is a person who is completely peaceful, who is completely kind and beyond. So not just we don't want to just lump God as God being light, God being hope, God being rain, God being peace, and all those things. So Narad Muni is not telling any of that to Dhruva. Narad Muni is telling the personal features of the God. How does he look? Where does he live? What does he eat? And furthermore, and things, what does he like, not like. And he's telling Dhruva, offer some fruits, vegetables, a schedule, a lifestyle, meditate. And first thing is to control the mind and senses. And here in text 5960 we see na, anyone who does engages in the devotional service of the Lord seriously and sincerely. That is required. Seriously and sincerely. Na? Attentively. We have to become what? Sufficiently intelligent or sufficiently sincere, sufficiently serious, adequately sincere, serious. This, that much is required. This is definitely required. We can never be like, okay, fully intelligent. Sufficient intelligence is full intelligence. Sufficient, adequate faith. That much is required. Krishna is not asking for much. But our problem is we like to exaggerate or overthink and we like to complicate things. No? So, and when one meditates like this, then Narad Muni is saying that he will what? Realize, he will attain the 4 goals of spirituality is what? Dharma, Artha, Kam, Moksha. 4 goals, 4 purpose of spirituality is what? Uh, attainment of by performing spiritual activity, by performing religious, moral, pious activities, by performing dharma, what will happen? Economic development. There will be a person, he will live life fully, wholesome. He won't have abhav, meaning he won't have something lacking or missing in his life. God will provide, na? God provides, na? So, by performing religious practice, God will fulfill this as God will provide. Dharma, Artha, Kam, Moksha. And what will happen then? If I am a religious person, a pious person, moral person, practicing religiosity, spirituality, God will provide. And when God provides, then I can enjoy. No? I can enjoy, sense gratifying. I can enjoy. And ultimately, then I've enjoyed and all, my desires are fulfilled, I'm more calm, I'm absorbed and all. Now I can go towards liberation. Now I can go in the woods, in the forest and meditate. So that is kind of one general 4 goals of spirituality, they say. dharma come most. But and we see in Western society, by and large, what the social people rely on social security, na government-based social security, because what why it is needed for sense gratification, economic development is needed, and government gives this social security, so we don't need God security. We don't need God security then. But this is not the platform of Krishna consciousness. We do not practice Krishna consciousness for economic development or sense gratification and ultimately to go on the path of liberation. We practice Krishna consciousness simple to love Krishna. Simple. We want to be in a loving relationship. So the fifth goal attainment is prema. Prema pancham purusha. Uh, this prem is what we want to attain. So let us see a bit more what sort of meditation Dhruva Maharaj is being asked here. If one is very serious about liberation, he must stick to the process of transcendental loving service, engaging 24 hours a day in the highest stage of ecstasy. And he must certainly be aloof from all activities of sense gratification. In order to attach ourselves to Krishna, detachment from matter is extremely required. Extremely required. Until and unless I detach myself from sense gratification, how can I be attached? Then I will have liking in Krishna consciousness, but not attachment in Krishna consciousness. Okay, Pip saying something?
Yeah, and isn't it sure Prabhupada explains in Bhagavad Gita that they're actually the same thing, it's detachment from matter and attachment to spiritual, attachment to Krishna. It's like one of the same things.
It not necessarily be the two sides of a coin. We see now many saints, yogis, Gyanis, Dhyanis, Manis, Sammanis, yogis, and all gentlemen, respected beings. They are detached from matter, humanist, minimalistic, and some spiritual practitioners also. Na? They are detached from matter. They wake up very early in the morning, 3 a.m., before 3 a.m. They sleep less hours, they eat very less, they're very regulated, very disciplined, mind controlled, but their attachment towards Krishna, none. None. But because they're detached from matter, they experience a sanity, they experience some calm, they experience some peace. And society sees, oh wow, he's so renunciant, he's so given up. Society admires that. But we don't want to be neither too attached nor too detached. Uh, Many people, na, their detachment becomes their attachment. Many people, detachment, many spiritual practitioners, that detachment becomes their attachment. Like devotees share this pastime. There was a Brahmana. He was a very pakka, pure, proper Brahmana, very seasoned, very experienced Brahmana, born in a Brahmanical family, practicing Brahmanical culture. So and he used to wake up on time, do everything on time, very disciplined, very punctual, and very proper, everything, rules, regulations, following nicely. So one day, daytime, he took a bit of a rest. He set his alarm for evening arti and deity worship. He took a bit of a rest. As he was resting, he went a bit into a deep sleep, and time was catching up because he needed to wake up, take shower, get ready, and then go to the temple room, prepare the bhoga arti and all everything. But he slept slightly, he was oversleeping, took more rest and going getting in ignorance. And you know who came in his dream then? Personified Maya Devi. Personified uh, demigod, illusion demigod, say. Personified came in his dream. And what did she do? Woke her up. Mr. Brahmana, get up, Mr. Brahmana, get up. You're getting late for your puja. So he woke up and he took shower and all, and quickly he hurried to the temple room, got everything, and he made it still on time. Rang the bell, curtains open, did the arti and everything. And then that night he prayed to the deities, or he prayed to the goddess of illusion altogether, personified. that how come goddess of illusion you came and woke me up? I don't understand this. Krishna did not come and woke me up. Maya Devi, how come you came and woke me up? Why did? Because what I understand, Maya is one who puts everyone to sleep, who puts everyone to rest, who does not let people experience, say, Krishna consciousness, who covers them in Krishna consciousness. But here, Maya is coming and waking me up to go and perform Aarti. How is this? You know, the response was what? The response was that Mr. Brahmana, because you are very stuck in your Brahmana consciousness, you are very stuck in your punctuality consciousness, you are very stuck in your discipline consciousness, you are very stuck in your detachment consciousness, you are very stuck in your puja consciousness, your arati consciousness, that I am such a good pujari and all. And you are very stuck in your what? Record consciousness, ticking the boxes. Oh, 5 years, 75 days, 21 hours, I have been practicing Krishna consciousness. Bookkeeping, records that I've performed these many Gaura Aartis, I've performed these many Janmashtami Aartis, this, and in all this list. So, because you are so nicely hung up with this sort of absorption in this, that how much have I done, how much have I done in this quantification. So you are already distracted from your vision of pure Krishna consciousness. And this is why I came to wake you up. Had I not woken you up, your record would have broken, right? Had I not woken you up, a sense of remorse would have come in you, a sense of guilt would have come in you. Oh no, I'm not a good Brahmana. You would have prayed more to Krishna, you would have taken more shelter of Krishna, you would have realized that you are not Krishna conscious, you would have realized that you are not the doer or you don't have this capacity. But so far you have been thinking this, that yes, oh, I can do it, yes. I've been doing it for years, Mangal Aarti, no big deal. Huh? So, in order to let you continue with your pride, let you continue, I woke you up from your sleep so that you do not miss your record. Now, we practice Krishna consciousness. Should we be doing it for records? To making records or breaking records? No. So, our should be neither we are attached to matter nor we are detached from matter. So, our attachment is neither to attachment or detachment, matter oriented. So, there are many whose attachment is towards detachment. They are heavily attached to their detachment. I eat less, I sleep less, I talk less, and in that less talking, I never talk of Krishna. Such people, wow. They speak less, and in this less speaking, they never speak of Krishna. Or they talk so much, and in their talking, they never talk of Krishna. What good is that? For us, we don't want to talk any mundane. And we pray that 24 hours we speak Krishna Katha. So this is where that story, that Brahmana, he was woken up from his sleep so that he can continue with his pride, pride in his Brahmanical belief. So Narad Muni here instructing, guiding Dhruva how to meditate. Meditate is real, na? Meditate on a real personality. Meditate not on matter. Meditate not on void. Any other? Yes.
I'm wondering, we need to be somewhat detached from mind to connect to Krishna. Is that a separate endeavor to connect into Krishna, or is it an automatic event?
It is an automatic byproduct. When we become attached to Krishna, we naturally become detached from matter. See this, we become attached to Krishna. Is Krishna detached from matter or not? Is Krishna detached from matter or not? Krishna does not know what is matter, as in what is matter, sense enjoyment. For Krishna, everything is spirit. For us, this is matter, wood and all, stone and all. For Krishna, everything is spirit. There's nothing like matter. So when we become attached to Krishna, we won't be seeing anything matter or becoming attached to matter. We will be seeing everything then in relationship with Krishna. That, that is meaning Krishna conscious. A small example. Uh, suppose a parent, say father, he has to go abroad for business, some business trip, 3 months business trip abroad, and he has a growing child, a girl who is like growing 4 year old now. Now 3 months he is away from home abroad, from family, and he goes into 3 months living in a hotel or some apartment, and he goes to work, he goes to park gardens, and suppose again, see, school is school time, children are going to school, children are coming home also, and he sees this. So when he sees young girl, 4 year, 5 year old, 6 year old, going to school and returning from school, will he not be reminded of his daughter? He will definitely be reminded of his daughter. Na? When he sees any toy shops and children shop and all, when he sees, this picnic and fair amusement exhibition, he will be reminded of his daughter. When he sees on television a young girl, he will be. So likewise, when we become Krishna conscious, when we see matter or anything, we should be reminded of Krishna. Everything should make us a reminder of Krishna, should be remindful of Krishna, watchful of. The more we experience separation in Krishna, that separation is going to make us in union with Krishna. So it's not like a separate endeavor has to be made to detach ourselves from matter. What capacity have we got to detach ourselves? Can any one of us have the capacity to say that yes, I have the capacity to take the next breath? Can we say that I have the capacity to see tomorrow's sun? No, we don't have that capacity. Can we say that I have the capacity that I won't be seeing tomorrow's sun? No. You know, what is to be given up? This claiming mentality. What is our biggest attachment? What is our biggest attachment? Our biggest attachment is to our ignorance. It is our biggest attachment. We are heavily attached to our own ignorance in the form of our thinking, in the form of our ideology, in the form of our, say, cultural identity, all of this in the form of our ego, identity, words, desires, and all. It is all ignorance that we are heavily attached to. And look how difficult it is for us to give up our ignorance. Is it not irony? My ignorance, and I'm not giving it up. Wow. So we take this question, now see this question and meditate on this question. That what is the difference between information, knowledge, and wisdom? I like this question. What is the difference between information, knowledge, and wisdom? Now, there can never be a scripted answer to this question. Something to realize, something to experience. Do we live in the information platform or knowledge platform or realization platform? Which platform do we live in? Where do we live in? At the time of leaving the body, would we want to be stuck up in information level or knowledge or realization level? So Krishna knows no matter, and we only know matter. That is why there is a lack of connection. But when we practice Krishna consciousness, then throughout we should be experiencing Krishna consciousness. Everything and everyone should remind us of Krishna. And that is how the process is completely Nirbandha Krishna Sambandha Yukta Vairagya Uchyate. Rupa Goswami's teachings that everything belongs to Krishna, everything should be utilized in the service of Krishna. We have to come to this realization. Then life will take a different turn altogether. Does this answer your question? So, A couple more let us read and see. When Dhruva Maharaj, the son of the king, was thus advised by the great sage Narada, he circumambulated Narada, his spiritual master, and offered him respectful obeisance. Then he started for Madhuvan, which is always imprinted with the lotus footprints of Lord Krishna and which is therefore especially auspicious. After Dhruva entered the Madhuvan forest to execute devotional service, the great sage Narada thought it wise to go to the king to see how he was faring within the palace. When Narada Muni approached the king, received him properly, offering him due obeisances. After being seated comfortably, Narad began to speak. So we shall see tomorrow what Narad Muni has to say to the king of his time, of Dhruva Maharaj. We shall see that. And now, we shall see that tomorrow onwards. And now, Dhruva Maharaj, his, his meeting of Narad Muni, his, his meeting of Narad Muni, that itself is the glorious thing. It is just rising in that consciousness. Many things make sense in hindsight. Hindsight, when we look back. It's a bit of a shame though for many people, even looking back, things do not make much sense. What to speak of foresight? Even hindsight doesn't make any sense to many people. Such ignorance we are. Living in a complete ignorance, self-destruction mode and whatnot. So this many things make sense when we look in hindsight. So when we look in hindsight, the relationship, the beauty, the blessing of devotee association, Vaishnava association, and even in that some particular devotees coming in our life and all, then we realize, oh wow, we are becoming Krishna consciousness. We can never become Krishna conscious as such on our effort, no. Only by mercy. Now all effort is to attract that mercy. That should be the only move. Okay, on this note, I will give you peace. Thank you very much for your kind attention and participation and encouragement. We'll continue our study of Dhruva Maharaja's character. From tomorrow onwards, we'll see text 64 onwards. Hare Krishna. Katha Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapuran ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Jai Gaur Premanandi.